I understand that you love your grandchildren.
Love them to death.
I'm glad you do. But you're the grandparent.
Right.
You're not the parent.
Okay, the difference...
Wait a minute. That was halfway through a sentence.
I'm sorry.
You're the grandparent, not the parent, which means it's none of your business. That's the truth of it. I mean, you can try to claim it's your business. You can scramble to the moral high ground and stand there like Wonder Woman protecting these children. But I think you probably did a better job raising your daughter than you give yourself credit for. I get the feeling that she's a pretty reasonable mom. Why are you injecting yourself into the day-to-day parenting decisions of this couple?
She did raise those children. She raised those children when the dads went around.
I'm going to come to you in just a second, okay? Because I know you have a lot to say. Well, no, all right, we'll stop and let you talk.
Grammy raised those children with you.
Tell us who you are.
Right. I'm Heather.
Okay, Heather, thank you.
Coco's my aunt, and that's my grandma.
Right.
Your kids were raised by Grammy. So Steve comes in and he can't discipline himself, but then he thinks he's going to discipline the children. Of course, Grammy's trying to get involved because she was there, Coco. She was there for you when none of the dads were there for you.
Right.
So why are you
just
sitting
like
here
your last
telling
guest, my mother helped me raise my first 3 children. I was a single mom. She was there for me. She was basically my husband. So just like your previous guest, when he came along, it's competition now because now she doesn't have all the say-so in my life. Now we are a unit and we make the decisions for my family, and she doesn't like that.
Well, she says she doesn't like your husband. She says, I wrote it down. He's a male chauvinist. She says, you're a bad mother. You say she called you a slut as a teenager and you guys didn't get along then. She accuses your husband of being childish and a bad father. She accuses him of being an alcoholic. I mean, all that true?
That's all true.
That's all true. He's an alcoholic and a bad father, and he's childish and a male chauvinist.
And he plays video games hours and hours and hours at a time.
Okay, first of
Star Wars.
First of all,
who does
I haven't played that game in years.
First of all, he hasn't played video games in years. Since
what?
Liam's been born, he has not played one online video game since Liam's been born. I don't care what you believe. I really don't care what you believe because this is my family.
Did you refuse to see the baby Liam for 3 months because you were mad because he chose to stay at the hospital with her in delivery instead of going home to supervise the 16-year-old Mason?
Yes, that is true, and I'll tell you why. Who leaves a 16-year-old child alone in a house so he can sit at the hospital and glory in the birth of the child? Yeah, sorry.
He's almost an adult.
He is sick. He's 17 now.
He's 17
well, no,
now.
I was just you said who leaves a 16-year-old child at home alone while he's with his wife in delivery?
No, it was 9 o'clock at
No,
night. It
the
was not
child was
overnight.
already born, Dr. Phil.
Yeah, a few hours old,
The
Mom.
baby had been born in the morning. I had to go to work. I call up, the twins are with their other aunt. I said, who is going to stay with Mason tonight? And he said, not me. I'm staying at the hospital tonight with the baby. And I said, well, what about Mason? Who's going to stay with Mason? He's 16.
Can I explain really quick?
He's 16?
16
An
years
intelligent, capable boy.
Very capable.
No, okay. When I was 16, I was living by myself in Kansas City. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. My parents moved to Texas, and I was living in Kansas City in an apartment. I mean, when I was 16, I think I could make it overnight. You are creating what you fear, because what you're doing is alienating yourself from these children and their parents, because like it or not, they have the ability to wall you off.
How do I deal with it when I'm not happy with what I'm seeing and how I'm seeing? I helped raise those children. I had them every single day. I took care of them.
You might take a deep breath here and see how this unfolds, because I don't want you to be out of those kids' lives, and that's what you're setting up for yourself.
No, I don't want that.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.